So they don't have to fly here and sign their documents by themselves, diba? They have a representative. Or worse, go to the embassy there, have it consularized, diba? It will take a longer time and resources, and they have to spend money just to do that. Hi guys, welcome back to the Property King. For today's episode, we're gonna answer your frequently asked questions once again. So without further ado, let's start with it. So today we have a question sent via email by Lian Frias. Hi, good morning. Would like to ask if the title owner is a deceased person, but he issued a power of attorney to the heir before he died, can the heir sell the lot without transferring the lot to her name first? Thank you. Very interesting question. Okay, so first and foremost, let's define what a special power of attorney is. Normally, the SPA or the special power of attorney is being signed and executed by the principal or the lot owner, the property owner, so that he or she can have an attorney in fact, or in this case, what we call a representative, to sign legal documents, contracts on his or her behalf. Okay. So this is usually being done by people who are based abroad, let's say if your parents are not here in the Philippines and they have properties here and they want you as their children, as the son or daughter to execute the contract on their behalf. So they don't have to fly here and sign their documents by themselves, diba? They have a representative. Or worse, go to the embassy there, have it consularized, diba? It will take a longer time and resources, and they have to spend money just to do that. So normally it's being done by, sometimes older people because they don't want to, go through the hassle of signing a lot of documents. Maybe they're quite old already and, medyo matanda na, they can't read that much anymore, di ba? Malabo na mata, or physically it's very taxing for them to, to go through all of these contracts, and they just want to trust their heirs or their children to do this on his or her behalf. Kadalasan, that's the reason why the SPA is being signed, okay? But in this case, in your question, the principal, the owner, the one who assigned, the rights to be able to execute documents on his or her behalf, okay, the parent, I would assume, is already deceased, right? So the power that was given, the special power that was given to the attorney in fact or the representative, the authorized signatory, in this case, the children, the son or the daughter, is no longer there because the principal has already died, di ba? Passed away. So, deceased na siya. That power no longer exists, di ba? Because your principal is no longer with us, di ba? Already passed away. So, as far as the law is concerned, I'm not a lawyer though. I'm not an expert when it comes to this, but based on my understanding of this particular situation, it has to go to the right legal proceeding. Okay, so that means you would have to go to the court, to determine if there's a last will and testament, who gets the property, di ba? Because you might not be the only heir. Maybe you were the assigned attorney in fact in the special power of attorney, but it doesn't necessarily mean that you are the only heir. What if you have brothers or sisters, di ba? In this case, di ba, if it's the father who passed away, what if the mother is still there? Di ba? What if you have half brothers or half sisters or tito titas, diba? Other relatives, or in the last will of testament, it was stated there that the portion of the property or the part of the estate will go through a certain person. You don't know, right? So you have to go through the legal proceeding. You can't just transfer the property using that SPA, especially the person is already deceased, diba? The principal is passed away already, diba? So you can't use that anymore. That's no longer binding. Okay, so in this case, it would be best to talk to a lawyer, and try to find out first if there's a last will and testament. If there's none, then you have to go through the legitimes and see, diba, who are the entitled heirs, diba, to the estate. Not just for this particular property, maybe there are other assets included in the estate, that you'll have to subdivide accordingly amongst the heirs. Okay, so it's a very complicated question, to be honest, right? And I would say it warrants, we need to discuss this in probably another video. But I hope I was able to shed light on your question. Okay, for our next question, this was sent via email again by Velmar Chai. Hi, we're eyeing on buying an industrial lot with a factory or warehouse structure in Subic, Zambales, but we wish to name the property to our minor son. I am a Filipino married to a foreign national and I still have my Filipino nationality. In our case, will it be possible and could you get us through reference of what we might face through legal matters? Okay, so let's start first with the nationality. As a general rule, foreigners cannot own land in the Philippines. The workaround of what foreigners try to do in order to be able to buy property here in the Philippines is they go through a business partnership, right, with a Filipino. They start a corporation, and through that corporation, the majority of the stocks or the shares is being held by the Filipino partner, usually 60%, and 40% by the foreigner. But again, that is not as attractive because there has to be, mutual trust, and really, you have to put faith in that Filipino partner, diba? Yung partner na yun, to make sure that that partner doesn't sell the property because, if he has 60% control over the corporation, right, then he has a majority say. So in case of a vote, then he can overrule the foreigner and, sell the property anytime he or she wants, right? So that's the danger in having to go through that. Okay, so generally, to answer the first part of your question, foreigners are not allowed to own land in the Philippines, let alone industrial lot or any other type of lot, okay, as long as it's titled and it's not for lease. Foreigners cannot do that. The second part is your son is a minor. So that begs another concern because first and foremost, minors cannot enter into legal contracts because they're minors, right? So as far as the law is concerned, they're not in the legal capacity, to enter into contracts because they're still minors, right? I'm not a lawyer, but maybe the drafters of our constitution or the rules set forth in the law is that, we don't want minors to be taken advantage of by grown-ups, right? By adults. And that's precisely why you have to have legal representation. And usually, it's your parents, who will enter into contracts on your behalf, diba? Let's say you buy properties and stuff, it can be done, but there's a special proceeding, legal proceeding that you have to go through, which is quite tedious. And on the other side, there's also an implication when it comes to taxes because as a minor, the presumption is you don't have any financial capability to pay for any property, right? Because the assumption is you're a minor, you're still studying, you don't have any work yet or job or business, so you can't have the means, to earn a sufficient income to pay for property, right? So that's the general assumption. So there would be most likely donor's tax implications. So in your case, there are two problems. Number one is that foreigner, if your son is a foreigner, then he can't own land, right? Or even your husband, he cannot own land. Okay, so it's only Filipinos who can own land in the Philippines. Okay, the second part is that you'll be encountering legal issues because your son is a minor, and apart from that, there's also possible tax implications because of donor's tax if you can't prove that your son has a legal or the financial capacity to pay for the property by himself. So I hope I was able to shed light on your question. So guys, that's all for today. Thank you so much for sending in your questions. If you have any other concerns, please feel free to send us an email at rk@propertyking.ph. Also, you can write down your questions or comments or concerns at the comment sections down below. If you're new to the channel, please like and subscribe. Hit that bell icon so you're notified each time we upload new content such as this one. Again, this is RK from Property King. Thank you so much for listening. And remember, let's all grow wealthy together. Goodbye.